Hey guys, Sean Tyler Bryan backup account here. And today I am going to be doing my top 10 favorite albums of all time. And yeah, this might be pretty hard, and there's probably going to be some controversial ones in here, but hey, if you do not like any albums on this list, then I do respect your opinion. And yeah, and there's a lot of, and you're probably not going to agree with any album on this list because every list is different, just like any other list, like list of movies, list of songs. So yeah, let's start off with number 10, which I don't have on like a physical format. And number 10 is the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Now, I'm sure some of you guys know that I'm a pretty big fan of the Beatles, and I'm just looking where could I put a Beatles album in. And Sgt. Pepper is my favorite. And Sgt. Pepper is my favorite Beatles album, so I was like, this will go at number 10. Yeah, it's just got like a bunch of good songs on here, like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Day in the Life, Little Hope for My Friends, of course, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and other great songs. Like, I mean, and it revolutionized music too. I mean, I say it's one of the best-selling albums of all time. I mean, the album's been out over 50 years. People are still listening to it today. All right, number 9, Culture Club, Color by Numbers. So, yeah. So, this album right here, well, this is like one of the definitions of 80s pop. This is one of the 80s pop albums on here, which you'll find out, which I think you might know what it is. You might not, but you'll see. But Culture Club, Color by Numbers, it's just full with a bunch of great songs, which is all the hits. Karma Chameleon, It's a Miracle, Church of the Poison Mind, Miss Me Blind, and Victims, which was a hit in the UK. And this album right here, this is kind of what got me hooked on Culture Club. Like, I'm a pretty big fan of Culture Club. Guilty pleasure right there. I mean, Boy George is a great singer. And their debut album's really good, too. I recommend you should check out Kiss and Be Clever, but Call My Numbers is my favorite right here. I mean, also like the album cover, too. Especially since like how Karma Chameleon was and how big it was on like MTV and on the charts. And yeah, this is a really good album. Number 8, Nirvana, Nevermind. Now this is a definition of 90s rock right here. Sorry about that, my dad just went to bed. And yeah, anyway, Nirvana, Nevermind. Now this is the definition of 90s rock right here. Like grunge and this, and it's got many great songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit, In Bloom, Come As You Are, which is my favorite Nirvana song, and Lithium and Polly. Yeah, it's a great album. And the other album, In Utero, is pretty good too, which I have on vinyl. So, yeah. Nevermind. It's just a fantastic album, and I highly recommend it if you have not listened to it. Number 7, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. And this is definitely one of the definitions of 80s rock right here, like 80s hair metal. Like, although there are other great 80s hair metal albums right here, like Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, Def Leppard, Hysteria, Def Leppard, Pyromania, Van Halen, 1984. But I decided to go with this album since there's so many good headbangers on here, like how it opens with Welcome to the Jungle, which is my favorite song by Guns N' Roses. It's So Easy's masterpiece. Night Train is magnificent. Out to Get Me is really good. Mr. Brownstone's a masterpiece. Paradise City is awesome. My Michelle is really good. And Sweet Child O' Mine's good too. And yeah, and if you have not listened to this album, I seriously highly recommend it. I mean, if you haven't listened to it, please check it out. Number 6, AC/DC, Back in Black. And this is mainly in my list due to memory as well. I was in 4th grade, and my dad would always play this album in Highway to Hell in his car, and I'd always ask to play this album and thanks to this album, I don't think I would be into hard rock or heavy metal, even though they're not really heavy metal. I wouldn't be into hard rock or heavy metal without this album. I mean, this album is great. I mean, Hell's Bells, Shoot the Thrill, What Do You Want? What Do You Do for Money, Honey? Giving the Dog a Bone. Back in Black, You Shook Me All Night Long, Have a Drink on Me. I mean, almost every song on this album is magnificent, so it deserves my spot on the list. Number 5, Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. And yeah, I hope, and I don't think any of you may have saw this coming, and I'm sure a lot of you know I love Phil Collins, and I saw him in concert back in September, and definitely one of the best nights of my life. But No Jacket Required might always be my favorite Phil Collins album. I mean, it's got, the whole album's great. It's a studio, Only You Know and I Know, Long, Long Way to Go, I Don't Want to Know, One More Night, Don't Lose My Number, Who Said I Would, Doesn't Anybody Stay Together Anymore, Inside Out, Take Me Home, especially it's a studio, which is one of my favorite Phil Collins songs. And of course, there's In Here Tonight from Face Value, which I love too, but this album right here is just great. And controversial opinion, but I think Phil Collins is better off on his own than Genesis. I mean, I love Genesis too. I mean, Invisible Touch is a great album, so was Abacab, but this album is just awesome. Highly recommend it. Number 4, Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, this is definitely a definition of classic rock right here. And The Wall actually used to be my favorite Pink Floyd album until over the summer when I listened to this album. And I'm like, man, this album is so amazing. Every song on this album is gold. Pure gold. What's on this? Sorry, this song's on. Breathe is really good. I mean, I love Breathe. Speak to Me is good. So was On the Run, The Great Gig in the Sky, Time, Money, which is my favorite song on this album, Less Than Them, Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, Eclipse. I mean, just every single song on this album is just gold. Love this album to death. Alright, number 3, but this is my all-time favorite classic rock album, actually. Queen, News of the World. I know in the past I said The Works was my favorite album by Queen, but just thinking about it, this album's got a lot of good rock songs on it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know I'm a huge fan of Queen, and I saw Queen plus Adam Lambert in concert back in August, and definitely the best concert of my life, but this album is just pure gold. We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Sheer Heart Attack, All Dead, Spread Your Wings, Fight from the Inside, Get Down, Make Love, Sleeping on the Sidewalk, Who Needs You, It's Late, My Melancholy Blues. Just great album. Number 2, Michael Jackson, Bad. Huge fan of Michael Jackson right here, and this is my favorite by him. Thriller used to be my favorite, or actually this was always my favorite, but this album is just awesome. I mean, every song, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Speed Demon, Liberian Girl, Just Good Friends, Another Part of Me, Man in the Mirror, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Dirty Diana, Smooth Criminal, and the bonus track on the CD, which is Leave Me Alone. Awesome song, and Smooth Criminal is my favorite Michael Jackson song. And my goodness, I mean, this is one heck of a talent right here. Michael Jackson, rest in peace. And rest in peace to Freddie Mercury, and who else? It's not on that album. Malcolm Young from AC/DC. John Lennon, George Harrison. But yeah, great album. Anyway, before I review my number 1 pick, here's a few honorable mentions. There are some albums I could have put on this list, but just thought there's more good albums in it. Number 1, we'll go to. Alright, for honorable mentions, we have Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Great album, but just thought of other better albums. I mean, it's still a great album. Def Leppard, Hysteria. I mean, great album too, but yeah. Same with Bon Jovi. I thought Guns N' Roses was a much more better hair metal album. Metallica, the Black Album. I mean, that album is a masterpiece, and I could have added it if I thought about it. And I think the last honorable mention would go to Soundgarden, Superunknown. Really good grunge album, but not as good as Nirvana, Nevermind. But yeah, and the number one pick for my favorite album of all time is Coldplay, X and Y. And yeah, Coldplay is my favorite band, and it's my favorite album by Coldplay. I mean, they were more going into like more electronic type of stuff, and it was mixed with fans. I mean, some people liked it and some people hated it. I personally love this album. I mean, every song, Square One, What If, White Shadows, Fix You, which is my favorite Coldplay song. Talk, X and Y is really good. Speed of Sound, Message, Love, Hardest Part, Swallowed the Sea, Twisted Logic, and Till Kingdom Come, which I think was a tribute to Johnny Cash, which he's a really good country artist, even though I'm not much into country. But yeah, number one has to go to Coldplay. And that's it for my favorite albums of all time, and I think my next video is going to be my top 10 favorite movies of all time. So I'll see you in my next video. Peace.